LeaveBoard video. Today we're gonna discuss about how to manage annual leave simply and efficiently. Let's start. So what annual leave management means? Annual leave management is the administration of employee annual leave entitlement within a business. Leave management is also known as absence management or time off management with allowances provided for the entire year, meaning the 12 months corresponding to the fiscal year. And there are a lot of advantages. You have time for strategic activities, you benefit of error-free calculations, and your company will have increased compliance. And this is different than by using Excel spreadsheets. So what are the challenges? As you see in the two graphics on the top of this page, and probably you have used them already, you know that Excel spreadsheets mean a lot of repetitive work, a lot of manual entry, and this is very time consuming. And you also will have difficulties in dealing with reporting because there is no filtering, no customization. You can make a lot of errors with various formulas, and every year you have to change them again. And because you will not benefit of any kind of support, you'll have to do them yourself. More to that, you will have to interact with the managers, you will have to update the documents, you will have to probably print some documents, check if there are other managers which are okay with this, and this takes again time and frustration and employees which are not happy about the entire procedure. So with very little automation, employees possibly misuse their allowances. You have very little integration and no mobile access besides a lot of manual calendar entries, Google Calendar or Office 365. And with a leave management system which works every with accruals yearly, you gain a lot of opportunities. So you shift from a lot of administrative work towards digital HR transformation or modern solution to tackle administrative work. Then over-reliance on paper and spreadsheets, you shift towards online web apps which are cloud-based, from poor decision-making processes to a system of records which is constantly up to date and will offer you insights tailored to your needs, from inefficient procedures and manual work to automated work based on HR processes and rules which you can define for your specific business. Let's go more in details about what this cloud HR system to manage annual leaves efficiently means. So as you see in the graphic, we have 4 core modules. So the human resource management, which has core HR, absence management, leave reports, calendars, people analytics, employee directory, and records. Then each employee will have access to their employee portals full of dashboards, personalized to various levels of access and various visibility settings and with the possibility to log in with the single sign-on. From the infrastructure point of view, the app works as a software as a service. It has integration with Office, with Slack, and Google. It's secure. It has a very dynamic database and provides a lot of calendar feeds. And on the automation side, we have rules, processes, workflows, automated calculations, multiple policies, automated notifications, dynamic validations, constant updates, and a lot of customization in terms of permissions. And such tools will remove data headaches, and we will remove wasted time, and will remove the barriers to growth. But uh, rather than going deeper into how software deals with these challenges, I think it's better to log into the system and go practically and view how it addresses the the multitude of needs within an HR department, and how it offers value to um, employees. So I will just log into the system, and already you can see we have integrations with Google, Office 365, and Slack. And I like to log in with Google because it saves me time and I don't have to type the password again, and this says it's good for security reasons. And what we have here is the employee dashboard, and um, this specific user is an administrator, so it has a little bit more access. On the left side we see the menu, and on the center page we see a set of cards, each one providing valuable information to manage employees' annual leave successfully. So I like to start from the bottom part, where we can see all the vacation entries, or the personal days, or PTO, or carry forwards, or sick leave. We can see the public holidays added automatically. Each employee will have we can customize accordingly. Some people maybe work 80% of time, meaning Friday off. We can have teams which will allow us to filter more specifically for the right type of people, or we can have multiple offices if it's an international organization. And then we have birthdays and work anniversaries for company culture, but also for um, performance reviews. Then we see who it's off today based on the attendance calendar. And this part over here, it's extremely important. This is the annual leave balance, and we can see that for this employee we have a 21-day allowance, and if the employee has booked already 4 days, 21 minus 4 is 17, and we can track any type of time off needed for the entire company, and customize them for each employee more specifically. What types of time off I have booked, what are the next public holidays and events. And this account, it's also a manager account. It has direct reports, so I can approve someone time off request. So for Tom Smith, he requested 3 days of vacation from 14 to 16 of um, March. He's hiking with a friend, so there are some people, but it's no problem. And when we approve the request, the employee gets a notification. And The last card which we have here is probably the most important. It's the book time off card, in which we can request any type of time off. We can request 1 day, multiple days, in the morning or afternoon. And you see already that if I selected 1 day, the system removes from my allowance 1 day, and I will have afterwards 16 days, and the system automatically tells me who is off in the same time. And if we book multiple days, we will definitely get a notification because I selected the days in the past. But if we book, for example, in the future, a period which has a weekend in the middle, the weekend will not be considered, and from my 17 days of allowance I will book only 50. I will have only 15 afterwards, and I see that Tom Smith is absent in the same time, so this helps with ensuring business continuity. And I put a comment for my manager. And when I submit the entry, so this is for May 4 to sorry, it's for March 4 to 7. We will see that an email is being sent to the manager. My allowance has been updated, and if we look over here, we see that from 4th to the 7th of March there is a vacation pending request, approval request, and an email has been sent automatically. And we see also in this calendar that there is a difference between approved vacation requests and pending ones. And here you see a sick leave part day request, however over here it's a pending one. And this creates a lot more transparency and ease of monitoring. We have this small button over here which allows to book on behalf for any employee time off in case someone got sick or forgot to add a vacation entry by herself. In the next page we have the same attendance calendar, which creates a lot of how to say visibility among what is happening through the entire company or through the entire team. But we also have a personal calendar in which we can see when are the next public holidays or how to plan the vacations easier. My leaves, it's a history of personal leave entries, and we can audit each one of them, and how to say, we see exactly this one which we added right now. And for example, if our manager does not how to say give an answer, we can send a reminder, and in this way a new email is being sent to the manager according to the approval workflow. In the leaves to approve, it's practically the same thing as we have into the dashboard. We have approved one leave request, so it's only one pending. The next section is the employee database, and here we have a list with all the employees, their approvals or managers, their roles, their teams, and their offices. So with a LeaveBoard we can set up teams and offices, and this creates a very solid company structure which can be filtered super easily, and you can identify specific employee fast if you have 60, 100, 200 employees. And we have also the status. So active employees are employees which have activated their accounts following the invite. Invited are employees which maybe have been invited or only have been added to the database and are pending invitation. And deactivated are employees which are not any longer working in the company. And when we invite a new employee, we just need the email, first name, last name, and based on the employment date, again, we can adjust automatically the overall entitlement for vacation on a prorated basis. And if we deactivate this toggle, we just add the employee to the database and we will be able to invite it at a later stage. For each employee, we have an employee profile which offers us the possibility to customize it accordingly. And we can change the theme, we can change the who's the approver. We have multiple permission settings, which we will cover in a second. And so the employees are practically having the least amount of information. Then there is the managers, which have the menu leaves to approve and eventually reports. Supervisors can see everything except the company settings, and administrators can modify anything, can delete anything, can edit anything, so they have full access. And from here we can customize the working days and working hours for each employee. The leave section is all the leave requests which the employee has added and what's the status for it. We have a vacation calendar for each employee on an annual basis, so it facilitates the annual planning for each staff member. On the time off tab, so practically this is the yearly allowance for Alex. So he got 13 days, he used 2, this means he has a remaining 11. And from the allowances tab, we see one more time he has 13 days, which are spread into 10, which he gets by default at the beginning of every year. He has worked during the weekends for 2 days, so we made a small adjustment to his allowance. And the system also allows for carry forward, so we carried 1 day from 2021. And to customize the allowance, it's super easy. Let's say, for example, this employee got a negotiated agreement. This means he doesn't get the 10 days by default, but gets 12 days. We just updated this and we see from 10 he went to 12 and from 13 he went to 15. And if we change the year to next year, we see he will get 12 days by default. And if we go back to 2022 and let's say the employee gets 1 more day because he worked during the weekend, we just add 1 more day, and that's very easily visible and differentiated from the annual allowance. So clear, straightforward, and this can be configured for any type of time off which is available in the company. In the personal details, we can set up the birthday and the system will calculate automatically the age. And if your organization requires to have an emergency contact number, you can set up it over here. So each organization will have teams and offices. So teams are created from here. We can add a new team super easily. To add a new employee or employees to a specific team, we do it from here. The same thing for a new office. So we just go to the members and uh, add the right members to the specific office. For each office, we have um, public or bank holidays, and it's super easily to discover, the public holidays for your specific um, state and import them. We have practically a large database of public holidays, and this helps the overall uh, annual leave management much easier. And I also wanted to say that we have calendar feeds with absences for the offices or departments and teams, uh, public holidays, birthdays, and work anniversaries of the employees in that specific team or office. And there is one more section within the employee database, more specifically the HR analytics. And here we can see the headcount, the average age, the average length in service, which again can be filtered to a specific team, and we get instant insights about what is relevant. From the age tab, we see who are the more junior employees and who are the more senior. And we have some smart filters. And we see that Judy's birthday is today. And we can send her a card or some flowers maybe. And we can prepare also for the next birthdays as well. And if you're tracking the service length of your employees, I don't know, to send them performance reviews or to make discussions like salarial negotiations. You can see that, for example, in 12 days, Josh will make 1 year in the business, while others will do a little bit um, later on. So in 3 days, Julie will make 5 years. Same as Tom in 4 days. Yes. The next section is the um, leave of absence reports, and we have put a lot of emphasis onto this um, set of reports. I like to start with the monthly absences, because here we have a list with all the entries of all the employees, which gets updated automatically once the employee books a specific type of time off. And we see the employee, what type of time off, on which days or day it had booked a specific type of vacation, what's the interval, what's the status if it's approved or pending approval. You as administrator can approve on behalf of any specific manager if needed, and you can download this report in to Excel format. And if you have multiple headquarters, you can filter for a specific one and download that report only for the specific one, and share it with your accountant. Of course, you can filter also through time, and we have the annual perspective. So what you see here is the overall allowances. So for some employees, we have less number of days per year. For some other people, we have more. Some people have carry forward days from previous year. So the system allows you to customize everything accordingly, and this report allows for checking if maybe there is an error here, or if everything it's correct. Then the used column means how many days the employees have booked already. And for example, if you're planning for the summer vacations, you might nudge or send a message to the people which have 0 days to trigger them to book the summer vacations. And if, for example, you see that it's already beginning of the year and you see some people booked more days than half of their allowance, maybe you should investigate why it's so. Recently, within the system, we have added earned um, allowance. So, earned means the number of days um, accumulated or prorated since the beginning of the year up to the day right now. And I like to make a specific example. So, if this employee, Hugo, has 12 days per year. 12 divided by 12 months means 1 day per month. And we just have entered into February. So if we uh, go for, the end of June, we will see that for Hugo, he gets the allowance for 6 months of work. So if Hugo will leave at the end of June, we know that he has used 4 days. However, he has earned six. This means 6 minus 2, it's 2. We will have to pay 2 days of um, vacation as part of his last paycheck. And this report practically allows us um, to track multiple types of time off and constantly stay in control of what is happening. And of course, be able to filter for a specific team or a specific employee or for a set of employees which approver its a manager. The next report which we have, it's the attendance report, and here we can see like if an employee works Monday to Friday 9 to 5, this means 8 hours, it will be highlighted with 8 hours. Weekends are with 0. And for example, here Alex has booked 2 days of vacation on 17 and 18 of February. For example, there is sick leave for Frank on 14, and there is like 4 days of uh, work from home for Hugo from 1st to the 4th, and this compared to the vacations or sick leave, they are marked with 8 um, hours. The last report which we have here, it's the general situation. This is a more management report, and we can see that for 28 calendaristic days, there are 19 or 18 business days depending on the number of public holidays for each employee. And if, for example, an employee books 2 days, 19 minus 2 equals 17. 18 minus 4 equals 14. So these are the business days, and these are the number of days which the employee is expected to work that specific month. And we have at the bottom of the column how many business days the month has across all the employees and how many business days the employees actually worked. And we can do some kind of like overall productivity across the company. And if that number is half of the overall business days, then we have a problem and we need to investigate. Here we see 32 like absences across 18 employees, we can see that Tom has booked maybe a little bit more than expected, and also Florian. We might have to investigate that, and we can do that again from the the leave section for Florian and for Tom. He had booked many, and Florian had booked also two of them, but each one with 3 days. They are already pending, but you never know what the managers will do. Yes, this is the report section. We have the support section in which we have some guides to help us to configure the account and deal with the overall settings. For sure, we are constantly updating this part whenever there is a new question which has not been addressed yet. You can also send us a ticket or write us an email. We answer fast. The company settings are practically the customization which is available for admins of the account. As you see on the Leave Types tab, we can see all the annual type of types which I have set up into this company account. Some of them I have deactivated. We can deactivate any type of time off. Others are still active and can be booked by the employees from the dashboard. And if we go to any of them, we will see the specific entitlement or allowance, and we can make also from this tab modifications if needed, and it's very clear to see what it's modified and what's the overall allowances. And from the other tab, the settings tab, we can set up the name of the time off type. We can set up the general number of days an employee gets when it's hired. And as I said previously, if we have this toggle adjust allowance on employment, their allowance will be prorated for the current year. However, next year they will get the 10 days by default. We can customize the color for each type of time off. We can allow if the people will book half day or not. If we want the employees to book time off in the past, so this is especially good for sick leave. If we want to give to the managers some days so that they can think before approving the time off and have a buffer of days, this is very useful. Enforcing allowance is a nice one. So if you want the employees to not be able to book more days than their allowance, so if someone has 3 days still available this year, the employee will not be able to book 5 days. If we want to make comment mandatory, automatic approval, usable in intervals, so that's good for carryovers with expiry date. Ask for replacement will add a replacement field within the book time off form. Let me just show you. So you see comment, it's mandatory now. You cannot book time off without this field, and here you can put the name of the person replacing you. And yes, and there are 2 more settings. Is this a working request type? So there is a big difference between work from home, which is 8 hours, and vacation, which the employee cannot be contacted and will be 0 hours. In show earned allowance, practically we add the earned column within the annual reports. Then we have the integration. We have integration with Slack, but each employee will have integration with Google, Office 365, and again Slack. I would like to mention that it's very important to have the same email address on LeaveBoard as on Slack or as on Office. Here we have the overall company details, but also some settings like what's the name format, when are the what are the working days and working hours default per company. The permission tab is extremely important. So with LeaveBoard, we have different types of accounts, and yeah, I just try to find something, and yes, we have different types of accounts which will see more items in the menu or in the calendar or into the report section. And you see on this page, in this chart, that the employee will have the least amount of items. Then there are the managers, which are given automatically to employees which have direct reports to see the HR reports and to be able to approve requests and to book on behalf for their employees. And then there is the supervisor, which can see the employee directory and birthdays and work anniversaries. And then there is the administrator, which can modify any of them and has full visibility. And from the permissions, we can practically customize how much visibility each employee will have. We can give permission to the entire company, so the employee will see what we see over here, all the employees, or we can filter for a specific team, so the employees will only see a specific team as you see over here. And then also from the permissions, we can filter for none, which means the employee will only see himself or herself. And the same thing for managers with the report section. Will this be limited to none, to the team, to the office, or to the entire company? Next, we have notification rules. So with LeaveBoard, by default, for each employee, the manager gets a notification by email, and when the manager approves, the employee gets back another email. But for example, if you have a workflow in which an HR department lead wants to get notification of what's happening in their department, or you have a HR manager like I have here who likes to get all the sick leave approved requests by the manager into their email, we can set up it from here. So we have a name for all the leave types, no, only for sick leave, when the request is approved by the manager, for all the company employees, no, only for the New York office, and to whom this goes to Julie, which is the lead HR manager, which will follow up with the sick leave procedures. And then we have the My Account settings, and these settings practically are a summary for each employee. And from the balance, we have again a summary of what is happening and how many days of annual leave the employee gets, the integrations tab, plus calendar feeds, and the overall the overall employee settings, time zone, languages. And here I want to say that we have 4 languages: English, French, German, and Romanian. Um, Time format, of course, multiple parts of the world, the time format it's different. And here it's 24 hours or 12 hours AM PM. And with this, this is how an administrator dashboard looks like. And I also like to show you how um, a user looks like. A user dashboard looks like. And, and give me just 1 second. And you see that already into the user we have much less information into the menu. However, the book time off card is the same. The balance of time off it's practically personalized for the employee, and as we customize the calendar to be limited per team, you see this employee cannot filter or see more people. Um, it's clear and straightforward, very simple to use. Personal calendar as well. Then upcoming leaves and past leaves. The support section with the possibility to book tickets. Then we have the summary of the employee information for sure if there is any kind of um, unclarity or wrong detail that can be changed. The balance of time off, the integrations, and once again the settings. And how to say, I believe with this we have covered quite a lot of ground. Of course, you can discover much more on the website or just by registering yourself for a free account. Accounts are, you know, completely free of charge once you have up to 9 employees. And I will switch right now to the presentation to um, have just maybe 2, 3 more slides that explain exactly what we discussed today. So with the LeaveBoard, which it's a cloud-based leave management and HR system, you can have multiple types of employees, so employees, managers, and admins. And employees can plan their vacation, have their team calendar, public holidays, um, see their annual leave balance and vacation history. They have leave of absence form, which it's online, which validates policies and rules and shows overlaps and sends automatic emails to the team managers, um, which can approve decline requests with confidence because they can see balances and availability with the calendar. The system practically records each request, updates the leave history, the balances, the reports, the calendars, and the integrations. And the HR managers have a very easy life in terms of employee management. They can check and, modify allowances with these, add new employees, change the policies, change the rules, change the permissions, change the approval workflow, change the organization structure with teams and new offices, and they can analyze people insights, more specifically absence reports, analytics, headcounts, birthdays, and um, work anniversary. And overall, this is the set of functionalities which you cannot do with a spreadsheet. And As I said previously, our subscription model, it's free, um, in very straightforward and free for 9 employees. You can add them without any, you don't need to add any credit card or stuff like that. We don't ask any kind of questions um, if you decide to use something else. And if you like what you see, and if you believe this is a simple, if you believe this is an elegant and it's a solution that addresses your annual leave management, um, we have a pricing of 135 um, US dollars per employee. Um, if you have a larger organization, we give you 14 days of trial, and we help with the account setup and overall data entry, and to remove this kind of barriers to growth and help with the implementation. So within the implementation steps, we will discuss with you your specific needs, and we will configure your account, more specifically add the employees into the database, configure the entitlements, the allowances for each employee, and the time off types and rules, and then we will offer ongoing support anytime you have some specific question or need. And with this, I believe we covered a lot of ground today. Um, if you're still interested to know more, visit our website leaveboard.com, register or book a demo, and for sure we will discuss soon. And we would like to thank you for watching this video, and if you have got some value, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.